So today we are playing Last Word Shadow again. There is two reasons. I mean, I've done a lot of Last Words videos. Maybe not a lot, maybe like two, but I think I've done enough Last Words content for this channel. But there is two reasons why we are playing it again today. Here, first is of course to show off the mini cards. Even though you don't necessarily want to run any of the mini cards that much in Last Words, but I thought I might as well just try to put some mini cards in. And the second more important reason is of course just to flex on my full three copy playset of the alt art Dark Alice that I recently acquired. So that's the main goal, is to flex these cards. But other than that, we're gonna look at how we're gonna try running some of the mini cards in this list. So we are running the one of Zebet. You can run more, but I feel like it's a bit too slow with only 6 PP. I mean, with costing 6 PP, you would generally want to be getting your last words earlier than that. Like, you want to reach last words 10 by like turn 6, and this is your turn 6 play. And if you run too many of these, you only really would play one on turn 6, like if any at all. So like, it's not super helpful for your last words condition. So I just choose to run just one copy in case it comes in handy sometimes, of course. And then I took out the copies of Colonel and I ran Odile over them. I've seen this idea floating around a little bit, so I wanted to try it out for myself. That was why I'm doing this. Odile, I guess the upside over Colonel is that she's useful in the early game, kind of, right? She crystallizes for 2 when she comes out, so she can contribute better to your last words 10 condition than Colonel can, of course. And also it does some damage. It doesn't do as much damage as Colonel, so your OTK options are a bit more limited in this list, which is why we're running 2 of Hellfire Strike to make up for that. Other than that, the list is practically the same as a standard Last Words list. So yeah, let's just look at some games. So for our first game, we are going first again. This is Dragon. Of course, the staple of every Last Words every video in general. I think there has to be one game against Dragon in here somewhere. It's just so common that it's unavoidable. For the mulligan, I stick with the same shit I go for usually, which is just to keep Asval, Angel of War, Twofold Grace, Valkyria Lance, and Dark Alice, and just toss, and Evil Exhumer, and just toss the rest. That's what I go for. Once again, this is buff Dragon, as you can tell by the mermaid, so we're just gonna go ahead and use the Twofold Grace to clear the mermaid here, just to get this in rotation as early as possible. There is an argument for going Angel of War there, which honestly might have been the better play, but fine. So go ahead and use the Night Terrors here just to get the Ukayomi in rotation, so that we can accelerate our last words by summoning out the Amaterasu as well. My opponent ramps and then goes for the Mega Lorca Rider here. They're ramping pretty fast, but their actual game plan is not going super fast right now, so yeah, we're going fine there. Once again, we are playing the Asphalt by turn 4, so that by turn 6 it'll pop, so that it can contribute towards our last words 10 by turn 6 kind of goal that we go for generally when playing with this deck. So yeah, and then we go ahead and put down the Odile as well. There's other options. You can go Dark Alice, you can go Angel of War, but I just feel like I won't really have another chance to play Odile after this, so I just go ahead and get it out of my hand now. I can get to do some damage on turn 6. So my opponent goes for the Asuka and Shiori into the Lucky Mermaid. They're able to buff their hand while drawing a bunch of cards, which is not good for me, I guess. And then they go for the Dion here, so they just ramp even more. They have like a full board now. A little bit of damage, but that's fine. We have the Amaterasu here, but I'm gonna go ahead and put down the Dark Alice. Use Hellfire Strike to clear. Hellfire Strike comes in handy for stuff like this as well, I guess. And then just evolve the Aldis to get rid of the followers they have. I don't really have space to go Evil Exhumer here, and it's like, if you look at my last words count, I'm at like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this Exhumer isn't really going to come in that handy. I can just finish it off with Zebet next turn anyway, so not really necessary for me to go Exhumer here. Exhumer is not that good to play if you don't have to. Generally, we run her out of necessity. You don't really play her because you want to play her because she's so good or whatever. The only thing she does well is create last words. Other than that, she's not super good, so you don't really want to run her that badly. We're gonna go ahead and trade the Exhumer in here, try to find a Dark Alice. We only run Dark Alice, Exhumer, and Odile as Last Words cards in this deck, so as Last Words Shadow cards in this deck, so chances of finding Dark Alice is actually pretty high with this list. So we're gonna go ahead and use the combination of Zebet, or just Zebet really, to clear their board here, while getting our Last Words count up. After Zebet's full entourage here, we are gonna be at Last Words 9, meaning that actually Last Words 10. So if they even if they try to ignore my board, the Dark Alice will come out and just punch them in the face. So yeah, things are going fine for us. Hopefully no Joe here. We took a bunch of damage, and there is the Joe, so we are gonna lose our board here. Not that we had much going on anyway, right? And then yeah, we're gonna take a bunch of damage to face here. Pullen emoting probably to BM or something, I don't really know, to be honest with you. Out comes the Dark Alice here. We're gonna go ahead and trade the Skiyomi off here. And then we just have a nice clean lethal with the apple here and instant dead. So yeah, that's it for this game. Deck functions pretty much the same. We can't really OTK as well, so we are more reliant on like dealing damage throughout the game as compared to when we were running Colonel though. So just make sure to keep that in mind when you are running this deck yourself. So yeah, let's move on to the next game. So for our next match, we are going second here against Shadow. I feel like it's the same few decks every time I make a video, just because the same few like decks are running around the ladder for the most part, but yeah. So anyway, once again against Shadow, it's probably Last Words. It could be aggro as well. Could be Helio, but Helio's not that common, I don't think, just because it's like so difficult. It's not really worth playing on the ladder unless you really like Helio, I guess. There's the twofold Grace, so this is probably not Helio, but it could be either aggro or Last Words. We don't know yet. We're about to find out, so we're good. Pullen goes ahead. Hit the face there, and there's the Ghastly Banishment, so this is aggro, so we gotta keep that in mind. That's the Patchwork Pup, which of course very annoying for us when we're trying to get Dark Alice out on the board. So go ahead and crystallize another Dark Alice here and put down the Valkyria lands. I don't really want to play the Exhumer here because I don't want to give the Patchwork Pup that many opportunities to erase my cards with erase my Last Words, so yeah. So here's the Exhumer now. We're gonna pop out both Dark Alices here. Go ahead and hit with the Dark Alice. I'm really praying for the Angel of War of this Exhumer. If you look at Destroyed Followers, I haven't played a single neutral follower yet, so after this all this, it was like basically a 50-50 chance whether this would be Angel of War or all this, because I'm running 3 of all this, 2 of Angel of War. Generally I do prefer running 3 Angel of War personally, but I'm just trying out a different ratio this time, so yeah. So here comes the Angel of War, which is pretty lucky for me. I mean, I would have been fine without it, but it makes my clear a bit more convenient here. So we go ahead and trade the Dark Alice into the Sergeant. And we destroy our Dark Alice here, so to make sure that they don't get transformed by this dog here. Hoping the dog will hit the Angel of War here, but unfortunately it does hit the Exhumer, so we lose a bit of healing there, which is unfortunate. But last was 7 though, so this is the... And once again we're playing this just, you know, because on turn 6 it pop and then that will be out. Last was 10, hopefully. Pullen just like hits me in the face and passes, which is fine. So we're gonna go ahead and try to pick up more Dark Alices and some instant deaths, I guess. We'll go ahead and fuse the Odile here, and we're gonna go ahead and play the Odile to get the Odette out to heal. Because we're very low against an aggro that kind of want the healer. Pullen plays the Zebet, so they do have the Zebet, which is unfortunate. So go ahead and trade here. We'll go ahead and summon more. Summon the Shoulder Fly here, so they don't go for the well, I guess they don't really need to go for the healing. They'll a bunch of damage here. I think they left the Odette alive, which is an interesting choice from them. Obviously here we don't want to die, so we are gonna go ahead and evolve the Aldous here. Trade the Aldous just to heal up for a nice 3 health. And then go ahead and crystallize the Dark Alice to set up for hopefully lethal next turn if my opponent has 4 banished, so even with a banishment I shouldn't die, so hopefully I should be fine here. Just healing from Odile is definitely very helpful. So there is the banishment, but thankfully we don't die because Odile healed us for so much. Another upside of running the Odile in this deck, I guess. It goes out Odile, but we're still alive, so we're able to just play instant deck here. Hit them in the face a couple of times, and just play an apple. Then we can use the Night Terror to summon out the Dark Alice that we cloned, and then just finish them off with Hellfire Strike for a nice lethal. So that's it for this game as well. Hopefully showed some upside for running Odile. Let's move on to the next game. So for this game, we are going second again, and this is against Haven this time. Both Heal and Lena are playable decks, so we gotta watch out for either one. Maybe it's some weird, it could be some other weird like Amulet or Evil deck as well, but most likely it's either Heal or Lena, I think. So we're just gonna play with that in mind. Just the Wings of Friendship here. Not much information to go off. It's a generally good card that's like usable in probably every Haven deck. For us, we're just gonna play the Valkyria lands here and just go ahead and pass. There's the Bambulis here, which again, generally good card that's probably run in every Haven deck, so we still have no information to go off. We're gonna go ahead and pick up the Amaterasu here. I don't... yeah, I just prefer Amaterasu. I think I generally prefer picking Amaterasu first. There's the Xiaomi from them, so not really sure what this is. You don't really see Twofold Grace run that often in Haven, I don't think. We're gonna go ahead and play the Angel of War and trade it in for the Amaterasu here. Just to pick up the Fountain of the Angels so that next time we can play it. In case they don't give us followers to work with here for our last words, which they don't. So we are gonna go ahead and get the Xiaomi out here. Don't really want to play the Exhumer here. I have to hang 2 PP if I play Exhumer, which is not super useful, so go ahead and just play the Fountain of Angels here as well as a Dark Alice. And go ahead and hit them in the face. And to spend an evil point here, I think. So there's the Lena, so this is some kind of Lena deck, so we know that now. So thankfully, because we evolved the Amaterasu, yeah, we get to keep the Xiaomi on board, which forces them to trade it instead of just, you know, just using Lena's Evo to clear both at the same time, which is, I guess, a good idea in hindsight on my part. Well played by me, I guess. I don't know. So go ahead and trade off the Angel of War here. Trade off the Dark Alice to keep her off the board to prevent any weird banishing shenanigans. And then we put her back on board that she's ready to come out. These are my last words. I'm at 8. With this and this, I'm already at 10, so I'm guaranteed for this Dark Alice to start going Face of Storm. No matter what my opponent does. Then here comes the Aralde, which does get rid of my all this. So feels the God's Compassion here, so we know they have that in hand as well. We gotta watch out for that. So out comes the Xiaomi here, which will pop out my Dark Alice as well, who will evolve, I believe, and go Storm for face. Unfortunately, no, we haven't drawn any other copies of Dark Alice, and we got all our instant deaths here, as well as all our Asphalt, which is generally not what you want to draw, which is not great for us, so I'm actually just gonna go ahead and play the instant death here, both to get the draws out of the Asvalts, as well as put Dark Alice back in her crystal to make it harder for my opponent to get any weird banishes going on. So my opponent does go ahead and play the Goddess of Condemnation here, which will heal them for a bunch. Destroy my instant death. That's the Executor just to keep them safe. I'm gonna heal to a nice 24 there, but we do have lethal here thanks to all these apples that we have in our hand. So we're just gonna go ahead and use our apples here. Pop 2 apples on her, trade her into the I forgot what the card's name is already. So we're just gonna go ahead and summon more Dark Alices, hit them in the face, and then just play instant that twice, and that should be lethal. So that's it for this game and probably this video as well. So yeah, you can see Dark Alice, still Dark Alice, strong as always. This is just last words, standard last word stuff. We don't really see any any room for Odile to come in here in this game, I guess. Yeah, let's move on to the closing thoughts, I guess, section of the video. So that's it for the games I have for you today for this Last Words video. Once again, we were just trying to see how the mini cards worked in Last Words. We tried running this more different, I guess, Last Words kind of list with cutting the kernels and running Odile in here to slightly improve the chances of you getting to Last Words early as possible, as well as helping to get some early damage. We did see Odette also come into play in the matches. The healing came in handy sometimes against aggro decks. It's interesting. Overall, I think I'd still prefer the standard like kernel leaning variant over this Odile one. So yeah, if you are interested in trying some different styles for Last Words, you can try this one, take this into consideration, give it a try yourself and see how it feels. And then yeah, if you like this version of the list, you can go ahead and play this version, I guess. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.